guys, Cliff here on JOAT. My septic tank pump stopped working, so I soon learned that I need to figure out how the floats work. In this system, there are 3 floats. White one, pump float. Yellow one, override float. Red one, alarm float. So assume starting with an empty effluent tank. Effluent rises. Pump float rises first with it. Pump float rises, pivots here at your customizable pivot point. Here it's customized to reach maximum height here, which then closes the circuit, which will allow the pump to turn on. If this pump float is below this height, like say from here down to here, it won't turn on. The purpose for this is the effluent has to be submerging the pump for the pump to turn on. And the reason for this is to keep the pump cool. Now, the pump float is up here at this point because the effluent height is here. The pump is still not running. The effluent is still rising. The override float rises with it. When the override float reaches this point, you can hear it audibly click, closes a circuit based on the pivot point you put here with typically hose clamp, tie wrap, something like that. Now, both the pump float are up and the override float are up in the maximum position based on the height of the effluent in the tank. Both these floats are on one electrical circuit. So once both these floats are up, it completes the circuit and the pump will turn on. So basically this pump float has to work, cannot be defective, and this override float needs to work, it cannot be defective for this pump to turn on. So right now the pump should be working and discharging effluent into the effluent system. Now, assuming this pump float is still here, this alarm float is also rising, or it rose to this point. Okay, now say the pump's not working or it's not pumping out efficiently. This alarm float will rise, and when it hits this point right here, it will close the circuit for the alarm circuit. You can hear it, it's audible. Once this alarm float hits this position, and again this position is customizable, you know the effluent has reached this height. It should have not reached this height. It means, like I said, either the pump's not working or it doesn't have the capacity to pump out fast enough, or the effluent system is clogged, whatever. And then the alarm float position here will close the alarm float circuit, causing your alarm to go on, which is typically a red bulb on top of your control panel. I don't know if you can see it there, or an alarm, audible alarm, or both. That's pretty much how the floats work. Thank you.